Hey everyone, it's Emily. Welcome back on my channel. Today's video is going to be all about the new Peach collection from Too Faced. I am extremely excited. As you can see, I was sent the collection. I have been testing it out. I'm currently wearing it today, and I wanted to share with you my first impressions, swatching everything and giving you my thoughts, and then you can decide if you're interested in any of those products. So let's do this. The first item is probably going to be on a lot of people's wish lists, and it is the Sweet Peach palette. And I gotta be honest, last year whenever I started seeing it, I was really intrigued by it, but I couldn't see myself wearing it. I was like, I love peaches, but bright peach like I'm wearing right now is not something that I can wear on a daily basis. It's fun, but is it worth buying a palette to just get that color? And then I actually looked at the color properly, and there's not that many bright, unwearable color at all. So let's get a look. On the packaging, they do say smell like peaches, and that got me way too excited. And I have to say, yep, it smells like peaches. Those are the little things that get me way too excited. So obviously the palette looks like the traditional chocolate bar palette, but this one is obviously has this ombre peachy thing. As always, you get a mirror, and then you get the colors, which are absolutely beautiful. Okay, so I zoomed you in a little bit so you can see it better, but I did my eye makeup obviously using this palette, and I have to say, I was a little scared of the bright peach color. That's why I actually wanted to wear it today. And it's honestly a lot more wearable than I expected. I was able to, even right now I have pretty fair skin. I'm currently wearing, by the way, the Too Faced Born This Way foundation in porcelain, just to give you an idea. So I'm pretty fair right now. It's obviously winter, but it's still very easy to make it not too intense. And if I want to build it up, I'm obviously able to do so. And as you can see, I had no issue blending it out properly, but now we're going to go through every single shade. I'm going to swatch them. You're going to be able to look at them, and I'm actually going to zoom you out a little bit because, you know, here we go. Better distance to have a conversation. I'm going to be swatching all the colors. So you're going to be able to see them. I think I'm going to do with my finger and then without my fingers because I believe that was requested. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And then just share my thoughts on each color. So the first color is White Peach, and it's just your standard matte beigey white color, which is fantastic to use all over the lid if you just want to make your job much easier whenever you want to start blending, or just to highlight your inner corner or your brow bone. And it is perfectly matte and it's not chalky. I feel like sometimes matte white can be really chalky, not an issue in a Too Faced palette. So that one is a thumbs up for me. The second color you have is Luscious, which is a light browns color. Depending on your undertone, it might look a little bit more orangey or a little bit more taupey, but I would say it's pretty neutral with a hint of orange in there. It's definitely a great color. Then you have Just Peachy, one of the perfect peach color that are in this palette. It's a peachy pink with a golden sheen to it, and it would make an awesome blush actually. Then you have Bless Your Heart, which gives me exactly what I wanted from the first palette. There was a shade that was a little bit more green, but whenever you would blend it out, it was just brown. Not an issue with this one, and I really like it. It's the perfect mossy green color, kind of olivey, and again, it has a little bit of a golden sheen to it. Tempting is one of those shades that I'm not super crazy about it. I feel like it wants to be black, but then there's kind of like little particle of glitter in there, and the texture is not as smooth as the other ones. It's just not as even whenever you try and swatch it. Last color in the first row is Charmed, I'm Sure, and it's just your classic mid-tone brown. It's not too warm tone. It's definitely a neutral to cool tone, which is perfect. It's matte. It's great to use in your crease or in the outer V, so it's definitely a staple in a palette. But I feel like lately I've seen a lot of palettes that just skip those type of colors, and you just need that medium shade, and that one is perfect. Then you have Nectar, which is a yellow gold color, but I have to say, usually I'm not a fan whenever gold shades are too yellow, but this one totally makes sense with the rest of the colors. Then you have Cobbler, which is a light medium bronzy color. It's less shimmery than Luscious, for example, and it is definitely darker and more brown. Then you have Candy Peach, which is probably going to be one of the favorite colors of most people and what makes this palette so peachy. And I have to say, I kind of have a love, not 100% love relationship with it. Not love-hate, but I really wish they had made it matte because it has some pink particle of glitter in there, which I feel like was just not necessary, and I like that matte peachy look. It's still easy to use. I thought it would affect consistency, but I haven't had an issue with it whatsoever. The consistency is great. It's pretty much a matte with those particle of glitters, but It was just not necessary in my opinion, but I don't mind it. I'm still using it. I am loving it, but I will usually just tap off my brush to try and get rid of a little bit of the glitter. So might just be me, but in my opinion, it would have been better matte. But I still love it anyway. Then you have Bellini, which I think is my favorite color in the whole palette. I feel like it just looks great. It's the perfect peachy pink color to apply all over the lid. It's probably going to be my most worn color in there. It's definitely less pink and more wearable than just peachy, so if you don't feel like being too bright that day, I feel like that color is just going to be perfect. Super creamy, metallic color, love it. I'm not 100% sure how I feel exactly yet about Peach Pit. It's kind of a mauve brown. It looks like it's going to be a little bit more purple than it does whenever you swatch it. It kind of wants to look like it's matte or satin. It's kind of in between. The texture is not as creamy as other colors. I'm not 100% sure I was going to swatch with my finger or my brush, but I feel like it definitely benefits from being a little blended. Then you have Delectable, which is basically your classic aubergine color, which is a deep purpley shade. It is perfectly matte. A little bit like Peach Pit, I feel like it benefits from being a little blended, but I don't mind having to work with it because it is a gorgeous color, and I feel like it's so different from what I would have expected in this palette. There's definitely a lot more different colors than just peach in there. So I feel like those two colors plus Bless Your Heart make the palette a lot more wearable throughout the year and not just during the summer. Obviously you can wear peach during winter. I just feel like I tend to wear them a lot less. Then you have Peaches and Cream, which is going to be perfect to blend out any color. Just a warmer peachy beige. Georgia is a matte peachy pink. Depending on your undertone, it might look more pink. On me personally, since I'm neutral to cool, I can definitely see a lot of warmth in it, which is going to be perfect to blend out the other peachy colors. Definitely an easy way, a very wearable way for me to wear peach. Then you have Caramelize, which is a medium to deep bronze color. It's definitely more brown and darker than the other ones. Some people might feel like with Luscious, Cobbler, and Caramelize, there's too many bronze color. Personally, I kind of appreciate it because not everyone has the same skin tone. And for me, a color that is perfect all over the lid during the winter will be too light for me during the summer. So I appreciate that I can actually mix and match like this. Then you have Puree, whichever way you want to say it, which is your classic matte warm brown. It's not too dark. It's perfect to just blend it out. It's definitely a color that's going to make the palette very, very easy to just grab and go. Definitely one of the best color in the palette. It's super blendable. It's perfectly even. Love it. Then you have Summer Yum, which is going to be your perfect matte reddish brown. Perfect to use in your crease, all over the lid. Outer V, definitely a very multitask color. You can do a lot of different looks with this one. Last but not least, you have Tarte Derby to me, and this one is a fail for me. It's definitely the color that I like the least in the whole palette. I don't like the formula. I feel like it's pretty dry, and whenever you try to swatch it, as you will be able to tell, it just doesn't do it justice whatsoever. It's kind of a black with some purple in it and some glitter in there, and it's definitely my least favorite formula from Too Faced. Whenever they have those colors, I never really enjoy them. Definitely one of those colors that you have to pack it on instead of blending them, otherwise they just don't look good. Personally for me, this palette is a hit because the peachy looks are actually a lot more wearable than I thought they would be. And sweet peach, but there's not just peachy colors in there. There's so many different looks I could do that I didn't expect I would be able to. That mossy green or those gorgeous brown or even the purples. So overall for me, a lot more wearable and a lot more versatile than expected. Okay, the next thing, I've been waiting to get my hands on this. I was so excited. If you don't know, my vice, the one thing I cannot resist is blushes. I love blushes, and when I kept seeing picture of this Poppin peach color, I just knew I needed to get it. Again, they say it smells like peaches, and it does, which, again, little touches that make me go a little cuckoo. So this is what it looks like. It is a metallic, the same basically packaging as the palette, and then you open it and you have the little blush. I'm obviously wearing it on my cheeks, and this is gonna be a go-to color during the spring and summer. I love those type of peachy color with a hint of a sheen of gold. There's no particle of glitter. There's not like a shimmery look on my cheek. It's definitely just a natural glow. Overall, I really, really like it. It's just going to be a great peachy color to add to my collection. So if you were looking at it, I say go for it. Then you have the Sweet Peach Glow Palette, and in here you get a bronzer, a blush, and a highlight. In my opinion, it's probably going to be the one thing that is the least popular because the bronzer, first of all, is pretty light, as you can see. It works for me right now. I don't even know during the summer if it's going to work that well. And it has a little bit of a sheen to it, so it's not fully matte. I know some people don't like it. It's not intense, it's not like metallic or anything, but as you can see, it is pretty light. So if the bronzer doesn't work for you, is it really worth it to get the palette? I don't know. The blush in here seems to be more matte than the Poppin Peach blush. Otherwise, it's just a light peach color. And my favorite thing in the whole palette is the highlighter. It's a very shimmery light gold color, and I am actually wearing it again today, and it's going to be perfect for the summer. So overall, it's a good product. I don't hate any of those products. I feel like sometimes whenever brands come out with like shimmery everything in a palette, I just tend to just really dislike them because they are like glitter bombs. Not the case in here. There's definitely a few glitter in the highlighter, not in the bronzer and the blush, so I can definitely see myself still wearing them, but it's probably my least favorite product in the whole collection. By the way, did I say it? It smells like peaches too. Last but not least, you have the lip products, which I was also very excited for. Those are the Sweet Peach Creamy Peach Oil Lip Gloss. So they come out in a lip gloss tube. The applicator works just fine, and yes, they do smell and taste like peaches. It's pretty strong when you first apply it, but it definitely fades a little bit away, and it's not overwhelming for me. But if you're very sensitive to scents, obviously this whole collection is probably not for you, especially the lip products. So this one is Peach-Sicle, and it's absolutely adorable. I have to say, I haven't worn them for like a full day yet. I'm still testing them out, so I will definitely keep you updated in the comment section. But all they claim is that they are supposed to be softening and moisturizing your lips, and I agree with this. So far, I've been wearing the one before I reapplied it. I was wearing it for 3 hours, and it was still decently on my lips, but my lips do feel very moisturized, and they have been really dry lately, so definitely a plus. I can agree that they are moisturizing. The colors are pretty. I do have pretty pigmented lips, so whenever I swatch them on my lips, it might not be the most accurate color if you have like no pigmentation whatsoever, so just refer to the arm swatches. There's only so much I can do to hide the color. Plus, there's a lot of people that have pretty pigmented lips. So the colors are actually surprisingly pigmented, but they are pretty light and still very wearable. I really like those glosses that are a little bit more pale. Those are the ones that I tend to wear. And there's so many great colors. I can definitely see myself wearing them a lot during the summer. I have to admit, the scent taste is growing so bad on me. I'm like craving peaches right now. Then you have Peach Fuzz, which is your basic light peachy nude color. It's a little bit lighter and a little bit more pink toned than the one I was wearing before. By the way, just adding to the review that they are not sticky whatsoever, which, you know how sometimes you press your lips together whenever you're wearing lip glosses and it just like, you know what I mean. I don't have the word, but you know what I mean. I don't have that issue whatsoever with these ones. They feel great. I actually just noticed that there's the little peach right there, and it's actually adorable. It's the same one as this one. I don't know if you're gonna be able to tell. They're so cute. Then you have Peach Tease, which is a little bit more red tone and a little deeper than the other ones. Then you have Poppin Peach, which is probably going to be one of the most popular colors simply because it's the most brownie nude mid-tone to light color, but since it's a little see-through, I can see this color looking so good on so many different people. I really like it. I feel like it's going to suit me a little bit better whenever I'm a little bit more tan than right now. I feel like it's a deeper nude. But yeah, I can see myself wearing this color a lot during the summer. By the way, I really like how even they are. I feel like sometimes some lip glosses can just look like they are sitting on top of your lips, or they start looking a little too milky and just weird on the lips. I really don't have an issue with these ones. They're definitely more opaque than I thought they would be. Then you have Pure Peach, which is definitely the brightest, most white base color of the bunch. You can still make it wearable by just wearing a different eye makeup, but it's definitely the brightest of the bunch. Next one is also one of the brightest one, and this one is definitely a lot more pink, and it is a little bit on the milky side, so I feel like you can see it a little bit more sitting on my lips. If you want a bright pink color, this is the one, and this one is called Peach Please. Like, Peach Please. Pretty poor application, but you have Poppin Peach, which is basically a straight up orange, a little bit on the yellow side, and you can definitely see how pigmented they are whenever I wear this one. So if you're looking for a creamy pigmented orange lip gloss, this is the one. Last but not least, the most pigmented shade is Tickle-Me-Peach, and as you can see, it's gonna be orangey red color. Depending on your undertone, as always, it will affect the color. So if you have a cool undertone, it might look a little bit more orangey. A warmer undertone, it might just look like a normal red on you, but it's definitely a bright, fun color and definitely pigmented. Almost forgot to mention, my favorite ones are the 4 first one. I feel like the lighter ones are definitely the ones that I'm going to be wearing the most. So that's it, guys. I hope this video was helpful. I hope you were able to decide which products you are planning on getting. Don't forget to leave a comment letting me know, because I'm always curious to know what people are going to get. So like I said, my favorite ones are the palette, the blush because it's a fantastic blush, and then the 4 lightest colored lip product. The rest of the products are not bad whatsoever. It's just that they are not the ones that I like the most from the collection. Don't forget to leave in the comment section what products you are now interested in getting or which one you already have. I hope you found this video helpful. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and to subscribe to not miss any future videos, and I will see you in my next one. Bye. I like it.